Hello everyone, welcome back to Meadow Hill Home and welcome to my channel. This is where I will upload my home videos, my home tours on Tuesday, my DIYs on Friday, and I do have a monthly farmhouse challenge every third Friday of the month. If you're new here, please consider subscribing by hitting that red subscribe button below. What do I have for you today? I have Farmhouse Friday for the month of March. And what am I going to make for you? You know I love to do things from scratch. I'm going to show you how to make these little farmhouse chicks. Now these little farmhouse chicks are not my original idea. I've seen some on Pinterest, and if you wanted to search for yourself, you can look for pyramid chickens and you'll be able to find some information on those. These are some items that I'm using. I picked out 4 fabrics that I wanted for my chicks. And I also have my cutting mat and my rotary cutter. And I just have a ruler. I can't find my cutting ruler. I don't know, since we moved. I can't find a lot of things. So these are just optional though. You can just have a pair of scissors in your fabric. I'm also going to use my machine, of course. You could do these by hand or you could even glue these. I have some rice, which is optional. And I also have some polyfill. But you can leave the rice out if you want or just use the rice. Of course, I found mine at the Dollar Tree for $1. So I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to cut these into 4-inch squares. I did try one of the little chickens in a 5-inch and I thought it was a little bit bigger and bulky. So I wanted just to make several of these. So I picked out 4 different fabrics and I'm cutting them in 4-inch squares, and you're going to need 2 squares for each chick. For this project, you're also going to need a needle and thread, preferably some black thread or floss thread for the eyes, and also some felt, and that can be any color you want to put on your chicks. You'll see that I use a red and a maroon, and then I also have a yellow for the feet and for the beak. After cutting all of my 4-inch squares, there's 2 squares to each set. I'm going to take this to my machine, and you can see that I have some pieces of felt laying on the left side of the table there. And I'm actually going to cut these out for the little chicken beak, the little crown, and also the feet. And the feet is optional. That's why I have some cotton twine there, and you can leave the feet off if you want. This is just a rough sketch. Don't laugh at my chicken scratches on this paper, but this is what the beak and the crown and the feet are cut like. You can make them any size, you know, size them up to where you want them for your project. Now I'm laying the crown up on one corner, and then the beak is going to go just in the next corner, just almost laying over that crown. And then of course you've got the little, I don't know what you call them, the little under the chin or the beak. And I'm going to sandwich all of those just on the inside, and the fabric is face to face. And then we're going to sew around the 3 edges. So I'm going to leave an opening so that I can put my polyfill and my rice in. Now you can pin this if you want to keep it in place, but since I have it right here at the machine, I think it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch all of those together, and then I'll turn that inside out. After turning it inside out, I'm just going to take my scissors and sort of gently poke the corners out so you can see them there. The next thing, our little chick needs some eyes, and I'm going to use some black floss thread that I have on hand. And I'm going to do what you call a French knot, and I'm going to try to explain it. But there's so many people on YouTube that you can go search if you want to learn how to do this. You can take a permanent marker and just mark the little eyes on. I will actually do one at the end where it doesn't have the legs and the feet and also the little eyes stitched in. But anyway, you're going to take your needle, put it where you want the eye to be, pull that through and wrap that thread around that needle 4 times and go back in right where your thread begun and gently pull through, and that gives you a French knot, just enough for the eyes. And then I'm going to turn it inside out and just stitch that off so that the thread doesn't pull through. Isn't she just so stinking cute? Okay, let's get the legs ready. I have a couple of pieces of twine, and mine is a cotton twine. You can use a jute string. You can use anything you want. And if you remember, I showed you how to cut the little feet out. Once I have those cut out, I'm putting just a little slit in the foot of it where I can thread that twine through, and I've tied it off in a knot at the bottom. And then we're going to place the legs once we stuff the chick with the polyfill and the rice. Then we're going to pin those legs on, and then we're going to turn that fabric where we're not seeing the raw edge, and we're going to take it to the machine and sew it. Now you can also hand stitch this if you want to, or again, you can actually use a glue. Be sure and backstitch and then trim off all of your little pieces of thread. So here is the first chick. What do you think? So let's make her some sister chicks. For this sister chick, I picked a ticking fabric, and I have some felt in a maroon color that I thought would look great, and still going to use the mustard yellow for the beak and for the feet. Hey everyone, don't forget this is Farmhouse Friday. Go check out the playlist linked below and check out all the videos of everyone that participated, and be sure and hit that like button and subscribe to their channel if you haven't, and send them some love, and go check out that playlist. I can't wait to watch everybody's video who participated. Now guys, on this last one, you're going to do everything the same except for the eyes. You're still going to sew the little beak and the crown, and then the little thing under the chin. So I slipped a piece of paper under this and took a permanent marker and just put a dot for the eyes. Now for this round, we're just going to go ahead and add all rice, and I'm not going to use any of the polyfill. I'm still going to turn the fabric, the raw edges under, and I'm going to sew it by hand. Make sure I get enough rice in there. I didn't quite have enough. Without the polyfill, it takes a little more of the rice. And this time there is no legs on this one. Turning the fabric under so that you're not seeing the raw edge. And you're going to take your needle and thread, and you're going to start at one corner, and you're going to go in between, the sort of where that is sandwiched. I'm going to go ahead and just pin this. Where the fabric is sandwiched in, I'm going to hide that knot, and then I'm just going to stitch all the way across, trim off my thread. And this is really cute. This one doesn't have any legs, but it's still a great shelf sitter. So these all turned out just so adorable. I fell in love with them. So let me know in the comments, if you think about making these, be sure, and if you can, take a photo of them and share them on Instagram, and that's at Meadow Hill Home over on Instagram. And just share your pictures with me. Subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and ring that bell. My name is Rebecca, and this is Meadow Hill Home.